Ever experienced a great day instantly ruined by someone's minor remark or action? A seemingly harmless comment, a rude attitude, or just an unexpected minor incident can instantly wreck your mood. But what if I told you that from now on, you could become completely immune to all external negativity? Would you believe it? Imagine a life where you always maintain inner peace, no matter how chaotic your surroundings become. Sounds intriguing, right? This isn't just an abstract theory. It's completely within your reach. And today, I will show you exactly how to achieve that inner peace through the invaluable lessons from the philosophy of Stoicism. Topic 1. Understand that your emotions are your choice. Imagine you're having a wonderful day where everything feels smooth and peaceful. You've just enjoyed your delicious morning coffee, strolling leisurely through a park under gentle sunlight and a soft breeze. Suddenly, someone appears and unintentionally makes an insensitive comment or acts rudely, instantly making you feel irritated and upset. You begin asking yourself, why did they have to ruin my beautiful day? But the truth is, they didn't ruin your day. You allowed them to have that power. Your emotions are entirely in your own hands, independent of anyone else. Think of this situation as wearing noise-canceling headphones while walking through a bustling street. The noisy car horns, loud conversations, and distractions around you still exist, yet none of them can actually reach you. Similarly, although the external world is full of disturbances, only you can decide whether these influences affect your mood or not. Always remember, between any stimulus and your response, there's a small moment of silence. Within that brief pause lies your power to choose how to respond. When someone interrupts you while you're speaking, criticizes your work, or acts impolitely, you always have the power to choose your reaction. Instead of immediately becoming angry, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this truly worth getting upset over? Should I let my emotions be so easily manipulated by others? By practicing awareness of your emotions as soon as they arise, you hold the key to inner peace. Try applying this simple strategy right away. Whenever you feel triggered, pause for a moment, take deep breaths, and name the emotion you're experiencing, whether it's anger, irritation, sadness, or something else. Quickly analyze. Is this emotion coming from the actual event itself or from your interpretation of that event? Finally, decide how to respond based on your core values and long-term well-being, rather than simply reacting from momentary anger. Starting today, commit yourself firmly to never letting anyone, intentionally or unintentionally, easily take control of your emotions, because you clearly understand that your emotions are your own choices, and only you possess the power to maintain your inner peace. Topic 2. Understand your emotions are your choice. Imagine you're having a beautiful day, where everything is going smoothly and peacefully. You've just enjoyed a delicious morning coffee and are leisurely strolling through a park with soft sunlight and a gentle breeze. Suddenly someone appears, makes an insensitive remark, or acts rudely, instantly making you feel irritated and angry. You start asking yourself, why did they ruin my wonderful day? But here's the truth. They didn't ruin your day. You allowed them to do so. Your emotions are entirely under your control, not dependent on anyone else. Think of this situation as wearing noise-canceling headphones while walking through a busy street. The loud honking, the chatter around you, they're still there, but they can't reach you. Similarly, the outside world might be full of irritating factors, but only you can decide whether they affect your mood. Always remember, between every stimulus and your reaction, there's a small moment of silence. Within that moment lies your power to choose how to respond. When someone interrupts your conversation, criticizes your work, or behaves rudely, you always have the power to choose your reaction. Instead of instantly becoming angry, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this really worth my anger? Should I let others control my emotions this easily? By practicing identifying your emotions as soon as they arise, you hold the key to inner peace. Try applying this simple strategy right away. When you feel triggered, pause for a moment, breathe deeply, and name the emotion you're feeling. Anger, irritation, sadness. Quickly analyze. Does this emotion stem from the event itself, or from your interpretation of the event? Finally, choose your response based on your core values and long-term interests, rather than temporary anger. From today onwards, make a determined commitment that no one, intentionally or unintentionally, can easily take control of your emotions, because you understand clearly that your emotions are your own choice, and only you have the power to maintain your inner peace. Topic 3. Let go of the need to always be right. Once you've stopped expecting others to behave like yourself, the next crucial step you need to learn is letting go of the need to always prove yourself right. Think back to the last argument you had. Perhaps it was something trivial, like debating which route was faster, or maybe something more serious, like disagreeing with friends or family members about an important issue. At that moment, you likely felt a strong urge to prove that you were right and the other person was wrong. But ask yourself honestly, is it truly that important? In fact, the desire to constantly prove ourselves right often stems from insecurity deep within us. Somehow, we feel that admitting we're wrong diminishes our personal value. But have you ever thought about how much lighter your life would feel if you didn't constantly feel the need to prove yourself right? There's a wonderful saying, do you want to be right, or do you want peace? Often, trying hard to win arguments only increases stress, strains relationships, and robs you of inner peace. On the other hand, accepting that you don't always have to be right brings your mind a sense of ease and relief. Imagine someone unjustly accusing you of something. Your immediate reaction would likely be to defend yourself vigorously, pointing out their mistakes or weaknesses to prove your innocence. But if you pause briefly and ask yourself, does proving them wrong and myself right really improve anything? Most times the answer is no. Instead, you can calmly maintain your composure, gently smile, and simply say, I understand your perspective and respect your viewpoint. This simple response not only helps ease tension, but also preserves your inner peace. Remember, your value doesn't depend on winning or losing an argument. Your true worth is defined by maintaining your dignity, protecting your inner peace, and wisely choosing which debates are truly worth engaging in. Start practicing how to let go of the need to always be right with these simple steps. Pause before reacting. When feeling angry or defensive, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is proving myself right worth my energy right now? Aim for understanding. Rather than trying to win arguments, try asking questions to better understand the other person's point of view. You'll be surprised by the peace that active listening can bring. Be selective about arguments. Only engage in discussions that are genuinely important, those closely related to your core values and your life. Save your valuable energy for more positive and meaningful activities. Once you've mastered letting go of the constant need to be right, you'll find life significantly more comfortable and peaceful. You'll no longer lose sleep or feel exhausted from meaningless arguments. Instead, you'll discover immense internal strength, the peace and confidence of knowing that making mistakes doesn't diminish your personal value. Next time you sense you're about to fall into an argument, remind yourself of this truth. Winning. This argument won't make me happy, but preserving my inner peace will. That's the victory truly worth pursuing. Topic 4. Don't let other people's words define your self-worth. After learning to let go of the need to always be right, the next important step is learning how to prevent external comments from defining your self-worth. Imagine this. You're extremely excited and proud to share an idea or project you've carefully nurtured with those around you. But instead of receiving the support you expected, you're met with negative comments, indifference, or even disdainful attitudes towards your idea. Immediately, your confidence evaporates, replaced by hurt feelings, self-doubt, and insecurity about your abilities and worth. So why do these words have such a powerful impact? It's because, unconsciously, you've given others the power to define your personal value. But please remember this clearly. Your worth is never defined by other people's opinions or judgments. You don't become better when praised, nor worse when criticized. Think of a moment when you received unreasonable and harsh criticism from coworkers or friends. Your instinctive reaction may have been anger, sadness, or a desire to defend yourself. But if you pause for a quiet moment, you'll realize their words say nothing about who you truly are. In reality, those words merely reflect their subjective perceptions and feelings. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic philosopher, emphasized this clearly. We often love ourselves more than others, yet care about their opinions more than our own. It sounds contradictory, doesn't it? Starting today, whenever you feel yourself shaken by outside opinions, practice these simple steps. Pause and take deep breaths. When you feel hurt by someone's words, pause briefly to regain your calm. This moment lets you consciously choose your response, rather than being swept away by emotions. Distinguish clearly between fact and opinion. Ask yourself whether the criticism is an objective truth or merely the speaker's subjective viewpoint. If it's just an opinion, you're completely free to disregard it without letting it affect you. Reaffirm your self-worth. Remind yourself that your worth is intrinsic, stable, and independent of anyone else's opinions. You don't need external validation to feel valuable. Remember, not allowing others' opinions to impact your self-worth doesn't mean ignoring all feedback. Quite the opposite. You should welcome constructive criticism to improve yourself, but never let unjustified negativity control you. When you truly internalize this lesson, you'll uncover an extraordinary new power within yourself, true freedom. Freedom to live authentically, freedom to be yourself without fear of judgment, and freedom to grow and reach greater heights in life. From now on, whenever someone directs negative remarks at you, simply smile and quietly tell yourself, "They're entitled to their opinion, but only I decide how much their words affect me." That is the ultimate way to truly take charge of your life and define your own self-worth. Topic 5. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Once you've learned how not to let others' words define your self-worth, the next crucial step to maintain your inner peace is protecting your energy by clearly setting boundaries. Imagine this situation. You're busy with a carefully planned schedule when suddenly a friend calls, asking for help with a small matter you know they could easily handle themselves. Or perhaps a coworker unexpectedly hands you a last-minute task, assuming you won't refuse. Even though you're already overwhelmed, you feel guilty saying no, and so you agree, knowing full well that this will add to your stress and exhaustion. Have you ever realized that every time you agree to something you don't genuinely want to do, you gradually lose your precious energy? There's a powerful reminder that says, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you constantly spend your time and energy meeting external expectations, you'll eventually become drained, frustrated, and resentful. Many people mistakenly believe that setting boundaries is selfish, but this isn't true. Establishing boundaries is actually a form of self-respect and simultaneously teaches others how to respect you. Remember, no one can read your mind. If you don't clearly communicate what's acceptable and what's not, others will unknowingly cross your boundaries. For instance, imagine being the person whom your friends always turn to for advice, even late at night. You want to be supportive, but over time you realize this is causing exhaustion and stress. Instead of silently suffering or resenting your friends, you can gently but clearly say, "I care about you, but evenings are my time to recharge. Can we discuss this tomorrow?" This simple sentence not only protects your inner peace, but also preserves your relationships. Here are practical steps to easily set boundaries and protect your valuable energy. Be clear and honest. Boldly communicate your limits directly yet gently. When others understand your boundaries, they'll respect them more. Use I statements rather than you. Instead of saying, "You always bother me at night," say, "I need private time to rest after work." This avoids unnecessary conflicts and helps others accept your boundaries more easily. Be consistent with your boundaries. Once you've established a boundary, stick to it consistently. Over time, this builds respect from those around you. Remember, protecting your energy is not only an act of self-respect, but also ensures that you can consistently present the best version of yourself to those who matter most in your life. Next, time someone, intentionally or unintentionally, tries to cross your boundaries. Calmly but firmly say, "I'd love to help, but I need to prioritize resting to recharge my energy." You'll quickly discover that the freedom and peace you experience after setting boundaries are the key to maintaining a balanced and happy life. Topic 6. Detach yourself from others' opinions. After you've learned to set boundaries to protect your personal energy, the next equally important step is detaching yourself from the opinions and judgments of others. Have you ever excitedly shared your plans or achievements with friends or colleagues, only to receive indifference, coldness, or even harsh criticism in return? Those words can hurt deeply, leaving you disappointed and causing self-doubt. But have you ever asked yourself, why do their opinions have such a profound effect on my mood and self-image? The deeper reason is that we've often been taught that external approval is a significant measure of our personal worth. However, the truth is entirely the opposite. Your true value never depends on outside judgments. As long as you rely on others' opinions, you'll never truly be free and will always live in someone else's shadow. Think of each person as wearing differently tinted glasses, viewing the world through their unique experiences, beliefs, and biases. When someone makes a comment about you, they are expressing their personal perspective, not an absolute truth about who you are. If their words hurt you, it's because you've unintentionally given them the power to define your identity. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish or stupid." This might sound harsh, but it's incredibly liberating. Growth often requires you to dare to be different without worrying about the judgments of others. So how can you practically detach yourself from external opinions? Question the importance of comments. When faced with negative remarks, ask yourself, does this opinion truly matter to me? Why should I be affected by this person's words? Focus on your own values and goals. When you have a solid foundation of values and clear objectives, external opinions will no longer easily sway you. Simple comments won't impact you because you know exactly who you are and what you're doing. Practice letting go. Whenever someone says something negative about you, visualize those words as dried leaves floating gently down a river. Observe them calmly as they pass without clinging onto them. Remember, you can't control what others say about you, but you can always control how you respond to their words. Living confidently according to your own truths, regardless of others' opinions, is the key to finding genuine freedom and happiness. From today onward, when someone says something negative about you, smile gently and remind yourself, I'm living for myself, not to please or fulfill others' expectations. And that is when you truly become the master of your emotions and your life. Topic 7. Respond with silence instead of anger. Once you've detached yourself from the judgments and opinions of others, another essential skill to maintain your inner peace is learning to respond to negative situations with silence instead of anger or argument. Imagine you're in an important workplace meeting, and suddenly a coworker deliberately says something provocative or insulting. Instantly, anger surges through you, your heart races, your face flushes, and you feel compelled to retaliate immediately. But what if you choose a completely different reaction? Silence. Silence here doesn't imply surrender or weakness. On the contrary, silence is a clear demonstration of your inner strength. It shows that you're strong enough not to be drawn into negativity, and you're actively protecting your inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic philosopher, once wisely said, "The best answer to anger is silence." When you choose not to react, you interrupt the flow of negative energy someone tries to project onto you. Others provoke you expecting an angry response, but by remaining silent, you take away their power. Think of silence as an invisible shield that protects you from unnecessary emotional harm. By not responding to negative words, you clearly communicate, "I won't allow your behavior to affect my feelings and inner peace." How can you practically practice responding with silence? Pause briefly before reacting. When someone provokes or angers you, breathe deeply and give yourself a few seconds to calmly choose the best reaction for that moment. Listen without defensiveness. Sometimes people express frustration or stress unrelated to you. Simply listening without responding can often diffuse the situation. Speak only when necessary. If a response is required, maintain a calm, polite tone and stick strictly to essential points. Remember, speaking less but effectively is far better than unnecessary talk. Remember this insightful Buddhist saying, "Speak only if your words can improve upon silence." Not every situation demands an immediate reaction. Sometimes silence truly is the best answer. By consistently practicing this, you'll gradually notice your inner peace growing stronger, while anger and tension fade away. Most importantly, you'll never regret harsh words spoken impulsively in the heat of the moment. Next time you're confronted with external negativity, gently remind yourself, "I choose silence not because I'm weak, but because my peace is far more valuable than winning an argument." And that's precisely when you fully master your emotions and your life. Topic 8. Practice gratitude to dissolve. Anger once you've learned how to use silence to protect your inner peace instead of responding with anger. You've taken another significant step on your emotional mastery journey. And to deepen that sense of peace even further, I'd like to introduce you to an incredibly powerful tool, the practice of gratitude. Have you ever had one of those days when everything seems to be against you? You wake up late, an important meeting gets cancelled, or you're stuck in heavy traffic on your way to work. You start feeling irritated and frustrated, wondering why everything seems to be going wrong. But what if, at that very moment, you shifted your attention to all the good things you still have? An incredibly interesting fact is that you can't feel gratitude and anger simultaneously. Gratitude has an almost magical ability to immediately soothe anger, gently resetting your mood back into balance. It helps shift your perspective, enabling you to see the positives around you even when life feels challenging. Take a practical example. You're in a rush, but stuck in a long traffic jam. Instead of letting your anger build, try spending a few moments thinking about things you're grateful for. It could be your comfortable car, the job you're driving to, or even just the favorite songs playing on the radio. Such a small shift in mindset can dramatically ease your emotions. As the renowned Roman philosopher Cicero famously stated, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others." Practicing gratitude not only helps dissolve anger, but also builds resilience, patience, and shifts your focus onto genuinely meaningful aspects of life. How can you practically incorporate gratitude into your daily routine? Pause and reflect. Whenever you feel anger or disappointment, stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, "What can I be grateful for right now?" Write down positive moments each day. Every night, write down 3 small things you're grateful for. Gradually, this simple habit will cultivate a naturally positive outlook on life. Use gratitude to reframe situations. When faced with difficulties, focus on positive angles. Ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "Could this situation be even worse?" Remember, practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges or pretending problems don't exist. Instead, it helps you consciously choose to focus on positive aspects, maintaining inner peace even on the most challenging days. Next time you feel anger creeping into your mind, gently remind yourself, "Right now, I choose gratitude instead of anger." In that exact moment, you'll discover an important truth. Peace isn't something you find externally. It's something you actively create within yourself. Topic 9. View criticism as an opportunity for growth after you've started practicing. Gratitude to soothe negative emotions. The next step toward deeper emotional mastery is learning to view criticism as a valuable opportunity for personal growth. Imagine this scenario. You've spent days preparing an excellent idea and confidently shared it with everyone, but immediately receive harsh criticism. The natural reaction might be anger, hurt feelings, or even feeling personally attacked. But what if you shifted your perspective and told yourself, "This is actually a wonderful opportunity for me to grow further"? The truth is, regardless of how criticism is delivered, if you're calm and wise enough to consider it carefully, it can hold valuable insights that help you improve. Criticism, whether gentle or harsh, is an opportunity to clearly see areas where you're not yet perfect. When you sincerely accept and reflect on this feedback, you find yourself growing stronger every day. For instance, imagine you're preparing an important presentation and a colleague or manager points out several shortcomings. Initially, you might feel like they're deliberately trying to frustrate you. But if you pause for a moment, you'll realize that their comments are not entirely unfounded. Constructive feedback, even if initially hard to accept, becomes the bricks helping you build a solid foundation for growth. There's a meaningful saying, criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish growth without being so harsh that it harms the roots. Not every criticism is constructive. Some comments stem from jealousy, ignorance, or even malice. Your task is to carefully filter what's genuinely helpful and let go of what's unnecessary. How can you practically start embracing this new perspective? Pause before reacting. When receiving criticism, breathe deeply and remain calm to avoid immediate negative emotions. Evaluate the source of feedback. Ask yourself if the person criticizing truly understands the issue and genuinely wants the best for you, or if their viewpoint is subjective and based on limited knowledge. Seek out valuable lessons. Even the toughest criticism might hold useful insights. Always ask yourself, what can I learn from this feedback? Once you start viewing criticism positively, as opportunities for personal growth, you'll no longer feel hurt or attacked. Instead, you'll feel excited, knowing that every comment can help you evolve into a better version of yourself. Next time someone criticizes you, whether gently or harshly, calmly smile and remind yourself, this is a great opportunity for my growth. That's precisely when you truly master your emotions and open the door toward becoming the best version of yourself. Topic 10. Master the art of letting go. After learning to view criticism as a wonderful opportunity for growth, the final yet incredibly crucial step in mastering your emotions is learning the art of letting go. Imagine holding on to a burning piece of coal, determined to throw it at someone who has hurt you. But what's actually happening? Before you even get a chance to throw it, your hand is already burned. This vividly symbolizes the anger, resentment, and negative emotions we often stubbornly hold on to. Ultimately, you're the one suffering, not the person you intend to punish. There's a famous saying from the Buddha, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. The anger and resentment you're holding inside only hurt yourself. Once you recognize this, you'll understand that true strength isn't in tightly grasping negative feelings. It's in your ability to release them. Letting go doesn't mean you're accepting or forgetting the harm others have caused you. Rather, it means you're consciously choosing to free yourself from the control these emotions have over your life. Letting go liberates your heart and mind, allowing you to focus fully on the present instead of being trapped in the past. For example, imagine a colleague intentionally or unintentionally takes credit for your work. You could spend weeks or even months feeling angry and plotting ways to retaliate. But will that truly bring you anything besides stress, exhaustion, and energy depletion? Instead, if you choose to let go, you'll quickly regain balance and redirect your energy toward new opportunities waiting ahead. Lao Tzu wisely advised, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Letting go isn't only about releasing anger or pain, it's also about releasing perfectionism, fear of failure, and the urge to control everything in life. You can easily begin practicing the art of letting go with these simple steps. Acknowledge your emotions. Don't suppress feelings of anger or frustration. Recognize how you feel, then gently allow those emotions to pass through you without clinging to them. Reframe positively. Instead of being trapped in negativity, ask yourself constructive questions like, what can I learn from this experience? Or, how can this situation help me grow? Shift your focus to the present. Rather than staying stuck in the past, direct your entire focus and energy toward the present, where you truly have control. Think of letting go as holding onto a balloon. The longer you hold it, the more tiring it becomes. But once you release it, you instantly feel lighter and freer. Next time you feel caught up in negative emotions, pause and ask yourself, is holding on to this worth losing my inner peace? At that moment, you'll discover that true strength doesn't lie in what you hold on to, but rather in your courage to let go of what's no longer serving you. That's the moment you find genuine peace and open doors to a new life filled with wonderful opportunities ahead. After completing this journey through these 10 valuable lessons, you now possess all the essential tools needed to master your emotions and maintain your inner peace. Remember, living peacefully and experiencing emotional freedom isn't an unreachable ideal. It's completely within your grasp. The secret doesn't lie in becoming indifferent toward life, but rather in consciously choosing positive and wise reactions to every circumstance. Life is filled with challenges, yet you always have the power to decide how you'll face them, calmly or with anger. If you found these lessons valuable and wish to continue accompanying me on this journey toward creating a more meaningful and peaceful life each day, please consider subscribing to the channel and activating notifications so you won't miss future valuable content. And if you have stories, experiences, or other valuable lessons about mastering emotions, please feel free to share them in the comments below. I'm always eager to listen and learn from you. Thank you for spending your precious time with me on this journey. Always remember that peace isn't a destination. It's a practice we commit to each and every day. Wishing you continuous strength, happiness, and above all, a life filled with inner peace. See you again in the upcoming videos.